Welcome to the First Principles of Medicine podcast. In this series, we will be breaking down complex medical topics into their first principles. When the stress is on and you've just been asked a tough question that you don't know the answer to, we feel you'll be able to fall back on these principles to formulate a decent answer and perhaps reason your way out of trouble. In this version of the 1pm podcast, we've decided to cut down a lot of the banter and tangential talking and leave it with just the key facts about diabetic ketoacidosis. Take it away, Daniel.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. How you going? I'm Daniel, and it's myself, Jason, Adian, and JT, and we're going to be going through some hopefully high-yield conditions, so you can just, listen along and hopefully get something from it. DKA happens in type 1 diabetics, all right? Because you can go into periods where there's no insulin in the body at all. If there's no insulin in the body, the cells can still take up glucose normally, but they need insulin. If there's no insulin, the cells won't take up glucose, all right? This is going to lead to hyperglycemia, all right? When you've got the hyperglycemia, the glucose isn't going into the cells, all right? And so you're going to start urinating it, peeing it out.
Right.
You can have glucosuria. Glycosuria. When you've got more glucose in the urine, what's going to follow?
Water.
All right? So it's osmotic diuresis. You're going to be getting rid of, glucose and water, peeing it all out.
Then.
Yeah. All right.
Is this why you also get polydipsia?
Yeah. So you would get polydipsia as well. All right. Why are you getting polydipsia?
Because you need to replace the
What
water.
is polydipsia, JT?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what poly means a lot. Dip, I don't know. Like drink? Or urge to be thirst.
Thirsty.
Thirst. Yeah.
Okay. So you get, with this osmotic diuresis, you get polyuria, polydipsia, because you're dehydrated. All right? Now, you are dehydrated, so you've got a reduced fluid volume. All right? Let me start that again. Sorry. So you're dehydrated. And you have this inability of your cells to use glucose for energy. Okay, because you don't have any insulin. So from this, you switch on, you start using your fatty acids, you start breaking them down, okay? And you break them down into ketones.
Oh, okay, I missed that step.
That's all right.
Okay, yeah.
And that leads to ketonuria and ketonemia. Now, you've already weed out all the excess water, okay? So your body can't keep weeing out all these ketones, and they start accumulating, all right? And this leads to a metabolic acidosis, okay? And that is DKA.
Sure.
So, thinking about that, some of the signs and symptoms of DKA most of the time. In the history, they may have had nausea, vomiting, all right? They may have had abdominal pain, dry mouth, okay? They may, if it's quite bad, they maybe have a coma, okay? When you see them, you want to assess their fluid status.
Wait, is that the encephalopathy?
They may be confused a little bit. Altered mental state, okay? You do a volume assessment, you assess and make sure there's no infection, okay, because that can precipitate this. Do a GCS, see if they've work of breathing. Investigations, as I said, ABG, you'll be looking at their electrolytes, looking at their potassium and all of that. You'll be looking urinalysis, looking for ketones, pregnancy test if it's a young lady, and just normal things, FBC, ECG, chest x-ray, okay? Now let's go on to management. Apparently you pump them full of fluid. You're probably on the second bag. You give them insulin. You check that their potassium levels are not too low, and you probably give them some potassium. So we've treated them. Now we're going to treat them holistically.
Yes.
Let's say, for instance, our patient has done this because they missed an insulin dose or something. All right.
Yes.
What do we want to do? The final step.
Patient education.
I should have said multiple final steps. Yeah, patient education. Okay. Yes. Maybe, get a diabetes educator involved. Okay, maybe change around their, medication regimen. All right, this is beyond me at the moment. And outpatient follow-up with the GP. All right, we're in the hospital in this setting, so we want them to be followed up in the community to try and stop this from happening again. Thank you, everyone, for listening. On behalf of myself, Jason, Jamie, and Adian, I hope you enjoyed that and got something from it. Have a good evening, or day, afternoon. Bye.
Yeehaw! Absolute insulin deficiency, bitch.
Thanks for listening, guys. If you liked this episode, feel free to check out the rest of our episodes available on Spotify. Leave us a review and a like. And don't forget to check out all the other resources, including Anki decks of each of the conditions we talk about on the podcast, available on the 1PM Notion website. Thank you.